Hey everybody, this is the weekly comic roundup, comic of the week spotlight video. Spoiler-tastic, indeed. Okay guys, so here's the deal. If you watch my weekly comic roundup video, you will know that I talk about comics, every comic that I read, and I kind of rank them slightly. In a spoiler light video, just spoiler light, just 1 calorie spoiler, not quite spoilery. Tastic. Spoiler-tastic. Anywho, so I usually always have a comic of the week. And I decided to do something a little bit different, a little bit fun, a little bit cool. I hope cool. We'll find out. Um, I'm gonna speak in depth, spoilery about my comic of the week. This week my pick was Catwoman number 34. This is the A cover for Catwoman number 34. As you can see, hell to the yes. If you are a fan of the bat cat romance, you are going to love this. I am. In fact, that's why I love it so much. But let me tell you something. I couldn't really say much in my spoiler light review of this book, because for very good reason. It is super jam packed with the info, the events, the spoilers. So here we are. This is going to be a spotlight weekly comic video, weekly comic pick favorite spotlight on Catwoman number 34. If I didn't already mention it, I am Carrie Quinn. I am the officially unofficial Geek Channel host, and I'm the one that reviews the comics for you every week. And here I am to talk to you about this issue. Wow. So, if I haven't mentioned it already enough, this is going to be spoiler-tastic, which basically that means if you haven't read Catwoman and you don't like spoilers, turn this off, come back, watch it when you have read Catwoman number 34, when you're caught up with Catwoman, then come back and visit me. Visit this video. Because here we fucking go. So, last month with Catwoman, we had quite the cliffhanger, right? So, Catwoman is getting basically fucked up by Father Valley, who, if you recall, if you've been reading Catwoman, was hired by the Penguin to kill Selina Kyle. Now, this is more than likely very much, in fact, it is very much attached to the things that Selina did in the middle of the Joker War. If you read the Joker War, you are probably aware that Selina really fucked up things for crime bosses like the Penguin and the Joker, and by basically committing this really kind of like bank heist of funds, from all of them. She transported, transferred, we'll say transferred, a shit ton of funds from all of them. Yeah, it's really good article. Fuck. It's a really good story arc. Really good event is the Joker War. You have your main story book, and then you have your other tie-in books. And one of the main stories is a Catwoman story, and it's actually really cool because some of the art in this comes back, kind of is a callback to that issue in the Joker War saga. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It's actually pretty cool. So in that, there we go. In that issue of in the Joker War, you have kind of like a whole like wildcat tiger dance matador kind of thing that's art that is in the issue with Selena, dancing with the wildcat, the tiger. And they have definitely, like I just showed you, a callback to that um, in this issue. And it was not lost on me. I noticed right away. It was really cool. I was excited because um, it helps kind of tie in things that happened basically across storylines. Um, Now, like I said, in the last issue, Father Valley was really kicking the shit out of Selena. Like I said, he's been hired to kill her. Like, he's been hired to kill her by the Penguin. And she's really getting fucked up. And she ends up, just kind of sitting there like, the whole issue, like, this is still just talking about last month. The whole issue, she's sitting there just kind of contemplating, like, the everyone that's like got this loyalty to her. Um, she's contemplating whether she's leading them down like the right path, because in a previous issue to that, a couple issues ago, Father Valley kidnapped and tortured one of her trusted confidants, Leo. Um, and she just come off of the idea of Leah being in the hospital, being really fucked up, hopefully going to make it. And now she's got everyone doing everything they can to make sure she can continue what she's doing, they can continue what they're doing, and that they will be safe. And the thing is like, she's sitting there and she's like, wow, these people are really kind of like sticking their fucking necks out for me, and it's kind of weird for her. Um, and way back, even way before this, we have the storyline of well, hold on, let me just kind of drop the little bomb first. So Selena ends up kind of rolling into like the river or the bay or whatever, and she's like drowning, and it's like these thoughts in her head. She's like, what am I doing? And she's been like in this whole idea throughout the whole issue. And she's saying there like, there's nobody that I can turn to, that I don't fear will pay a price for turning to me. Like, that I don't fear will be paying the price for loyalty to me, um, um, even just associating with me, caring about me. Like, nobody, is safe that cares about me. It's basically kind of like in her head, she's like, one, she's been stabbed, she's bleeding, okay? She's in the river, okay? Drowning and thinking, wow, everyone's fucked that likes me. Kind of a horrible feeling to have, that you're going to think that you're about ready to die, possibly, and nobody can really handle being your friend, and caring about you. So then it's literally, when you're reading the comic, you're going through this and you're like, now I know they're not going to fucking kill off Catwoman. I've seen Future State. I've seen, even though Future State is a possible future thing, we're kind of headed that way. Because, like, the thing is that I haven't even mentioned is that throughout all of Alleytown, this shit is going down involving the magistrate. Like, shit is going to fuck. Because people are protesting and they're having, like, clashes with the cops, and therefore everything going on all over Gotham, not just in Alleytown, with the magistrate. Shit is going to fuck. And we also know that Selina, in past issues, has put herself right in the crosshairs of the magistrate because and Simon Saint because she has Ivy. Yeah, guys, Selena's right in the thick of this shit, right? She's been stabbed horribly, gotten the crap beat out of her. Now, girlfriend hold her own. She held her own, okay? But she's in trouble. And I'm still just here talking about the last issue because it's you gotta understand what the cliffhanger was here of the last issue to understand why as a Catwoman and Gotham comic fan, I got so excited about last issue and this one as well. Literally, it's one of those things where you turn the last page and she's sitting there, she's having all these thoughts, and then she looks up and going into the water is an outstretched hand and the cowl of Batman. Batman. The one person that cares about Selina Kyle, that can take care of himself, has now come to take care of her. That's just the end of last month's issue, guys. I haven't even, like... Okay, so speculation run amok. Is it really Bruce? Or is she hallucinating? I am a romantic at heart, and I believe in sometimes you get exactly what you fucking want in this world. Most of the time, you don't. Most of the time, the world sucks, people suck, and oh well, right? But sometimes you get exactly what you want out of this world. And it really was. It really was, Bruce. Now, why is this such a romantic at heart kind of thing? Well, if you have much knowledge about the recent history in regards to Selina Kyle, Catwoman, and Bruce Wayne's Batman, you will know that a couple years ago, they were supposed to get married. Yeah. Selina Kyle and Bruce Wayne are not married, so I can tell you there that it did not go down as planned. There was a lot of stuff that happened that made Selina think twice because she didn't want what people were getting in her head to happen. And if you know about that, we won't get into it here. It's not because she did not love Bruce Wayne. She did love Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne loved Selina Kyle, but people had gotten into her head about possible consequences of her marrying Bruce Wayne, of her marrying Batman. And that's how that went down. Now, fast forward a little bit, Selina and Bruce had met up after all that went down, or didn't go down, so to speak, and agreed that they were going to stay out of each other's ways for at least a year. And it has not been a year yet. But there's that hand and that cowl coming into the water to pull Selina out. He's her lobster. Um, so we're treated right away to what we've been waiting for a month. The two of them together. And they're talking and they're kind of just sitting there and relaxing, and she's gotten bandaged up and everything like that, so that's good, right? And she goes ahead and she asks him, how did you know to come help me? Well, her friend on the Gotham PD, Hadley, Detective Hadley, basically used the bat signal when he realized in the previous issue what was going on involving Father Valley. He got whatever information he can get together. He contacted Bruce Wayne. Well, he used the bat signal and got Batman there. And guys, Bruce Wayne is not over Selena Kyle. I'm going to tell you something. Bruce Wayne is not over Selena Kyle, because one of the first things he says after he's about ready to leave, after he's got the information about Father Valley and he's been warned, and Hadley's like, yeah, I know that there's history there between you and Catwoman, and I figured you were the best person to give this information to so that you wouldn't be able to not go help her. And he's just like, Bruce Wayne's like, do you have feelings for her? And he's like, I don't know, maybe. Hadley's like, I don't know, maybe, but who can compete with that? Meaning, who can compete with Batman? And Batman's like, you don't. Oh, yeah, you don't. You don't compete with me, because no, that I'm still interested in Selena Kyle. Yeah. Okay. Batman is like, you don't compete with me. You don't. Uh. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, you don't compete with me. Uh, 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 I still want Selena Kyle. I still want Selena. Okay. So, anyways, Batman has to go off and he has to, you know, do his thing. Well, actually, here's the thing. The other thing that comes up that's like, ooh, Batman's still into Selena Kyle, guys. Um, so she like finds out how he found her and everything like that, and they're staying there. They're like putting themselves back together, right? After making out a little bit, yeah. And he's just like, can you keep the whole Ivy thing under wraps right now? We'll deal with that. We'll cross that bridge when we need to come to it, but we got all the stuff going on, right? And she's just like, just a bat chasing a cat on a moonlight night. Simpler times, eh? And he's like, that would imply that I let you get away. And the thing that's really cool is he's like putting his cowl back on, right? At that moment. And she's already jumped away. But he's just like, I'm not letting you get away. That would imply that I let you get away. So she gets a bunch of information from Bruce about Father Valley and about everything that's happening and how everything's going down. And she goes and she finds him. And we have another Father Valley, Selena Kyle, Catwoman showdown. She's this time she's brought a sword, so that's good. And there's this really awesome like paneling here that shows them fighting. It does kind of come off as very anime, fight like, you know. So that's pretty cool. Let's see here. So we have Hadley going to the scene of the church that he blew up, and he gets the idea. He's like, wait, he didn't blow it up because he was hiding here, this Father Valley. He blew it up because it was in his way. Like, certain buildings were in the way and he couldn't see something or do something. So that building that was in the way was the church. So that's why he blew it up. They come to that realization, and it's like, oh shit. So Hadley is like, Detective Hadley is like, I'm on my way to go do some stuff. I gotta handle it. You've got more of the really awesome fighting between Catwoman and Father Valley when she gets to the point where she realizes, and he says that he's basically got this big ass assault rifle aimed on Maggie, as in Selena's sister. And so you think during all this time that Detective Hadley, is on his way to the building where Selena and Father Valley are fighting. No, but he's figured out that Father Valley needed that one building out of the way so that he would have a clear shot at Maggie. So he goes to Maggie's apartment, and Father Valley is very hurt. And we're thinking she's about ready. Selena Kyle, Catwoman, is about ready to finish off Father Valley. And unfortunately, Father Valley goes ahead and he clicks the trigger to the remote trigger to have the gun go off. And you're thinking, oh shit, right? And then, and she's sitting there like, oh my god, and she yells her sister's name, and she's thinking her sister is about ready to get, her sister's been shot. But what she doesn't know is there's also a bomb in the building that they're in. Father Valley gets away. Unfortunately, Maggie is okay. Fortunately, she is not shot. Unfortunately, the cliffhanger that we are treated to is basically the death of Detective Hadley. Detective Hadley took the shot that would have killed Maggie and got himself killed. So, yeah. And the thing is like, I'm not even like completely getting into everything that happened during the fight, and how Father Valley is talking to her, and how they're interacting, and the really exciting fighting that they're doing in this issue. And it's, rest in R.I.P. Detective Hadley. R.I.P. Now, the explosion that happens is in the building that Selena's in, but come on, it's Catwoman, it's her book. There's going to be an issue next month. She's fine. But yeah. R.I.P. Detective Hadley. So yeah, I mean that's about does it for Catwoman number 34. I already put it back in the plastic because we bag and board here because we're not savages. Yeah. R.I.P. Detective Hadley. That about does it for the officially unofficial Geek Channel Comic of the Week Spotlight. Catwoman number 34. It's kind of a somber moment. We get a lot of excitement, then we get this like somber moment where a character that really wasn't all that bad of a character is like, I mean, Detective Hadley is the reason why Bruce knew to go find and help Selena. It would seem that, you know, Bruce doesn't have that competition, unfortunately. Which I would have liked, you know, it might have been actually kind of fun to see, you know? Like, somebody else is vying for the affections of one Selena Kyle. But unfortunately, we'll be seeing ya. R.I.P. Detective Hadley. Thank you for your sacrifice, sir. Okay, so that's about it. This is the weekly comic roundup. Weekly comic roundup. Officially unofficial geek. Weekly comic roundup. The comic of the week spotlight, Catwoman. I hope you liked it as much as I did. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had tons of Chicago songs in your head while reading it like I did. And yeah. I am your host, as always, Carrie Quinn. I talk about comics and other pop culture fantastic things. I have the hiccups now. That's funny. I talk about pop culture and other fantastic things every week. All the time. I do a lot of reviews. It's heavy on the comic books, guys. Let's be real. Let's be honest. We're heavy on the comic books. We're heavy on the geeks. We're heavy on everything. Pop culture. Fun. Comment, subscribe, do all the normal YouTube-y things. And let me know. Let me comment. Let me know what you thought of Catwoman this month. Am I on the money with this? Is it one of the better comics to come out of DC this week? Let me know. Let me know. And thank you. I'll be seeing you guys.